In the midst of a war-torn land, there lived a brave and resilient army, known for their unwavering courage and steadfast determination. They had been fighting for years against a powerful enemy, and although they had won some battles, the enemy seemed to have the upper hand. But one day, everything changed. The army had received intelligence that the enemy was planning a surprise attack. They knew they had to act quickly if they wanted to survive. The commander of the army, a wise and experienced warrior named General Kael, called for a meeting with his most trusted advisors. "We need to get out of here before the enemy attacks," said General Kael. "But we cannot let them catch us. We need to find a way to escape without being detected." The advisors nodded in agreement, but they knew it wouldn't be easy. The enemy had advanced technology and was constantly monitoring their movements. They needed a plan, a clever and cunning plan, if they were to have any chance of survival. General Kael had an idea. He remembered a story his grandfather had told him when he was a boy about a great army that had escaped from their enemies by hiding in a dense forest. The forest was so thick and impenetrable that the enemy could not find them, and they had managed to escape unscathed. "I have a plan," said General Kael. "We will hide in the forest and wait for the enemy to pass us by. We will then follow them from behind without being detected." The advisors were skeptical. They knew the forest General Kael was talking about was a dangerous place, full of wild animals and treacherous terrain. But General Kael was determined. He had faith in his army, and he knew they could do it. The army quickly packed their supplies and headed towards the forest. They had to move quickly, for the enemy was not far behind. As they entered the forest, they realized just how difficult their task was going to be. The trees were tall and thick, and the ground was covered in leaves and branches. It was hard to see where they were going, and they had to move slowly to avoid making noise. Days turned into nights, and the army pressed on, never stopping for rest. They were exhausted and hungry, but they knew they had to keep going if they were to escape the enemy. General Kael led them through the forest using his knowledge of the land to guide them. Finally, they saw the enemy's convoy passing by just as General Kael had predicted. They waited patiently, hidden in the dense foliage of the forest until the convoy was far enough away for them to start moving. They followed the enemy from a safe distance, never letting them out of their sight. They walked for days through mountains and valleys, across rivers and streams, always keeping a watchful eye on the enemy. Finally, they reached the safety of their own borders. The enemy had no idea that they had been followed, and they had no idea that they had been defeated. General Kael and his army were celebrated as heroes. They had escaped from the enemy against all odds and come out victorious. They had shown that with courage, determination, and a little bit of cleverness, anything was possible. And so, the story of General Kael and his army became a legend, inspiring generations to come. It showed that even in the darkest of times, there is always a way out, a glimmer of hope. All it takes is the courage to face your fears and the determination to never give up.